Welcome to Listen and Speak Daily English, the best way to learn English with fun and easy way.
Have you ever looked at the clock and wondered where the whole day went? You wake up in the morning with a plan. You tell yourself that today will be different. You will study, exercise, finish your work, and finally do the things you've been putting off. But then you check your phone for a few minutes. One video becomes 5. 5 minutes becomes 30. And suddenly, it's evening. My name is Mia, I'm 20 years old, and for a long time, I was exactly that kind of person. I always felt like I didn't have enough time. But the truth was different. I had time, I just wasn't using it wisely. Today, I want to tell you how I learned to stop wasting my time and start using my days in a better way. When I was younger, I never thought much about time. I thought there would always be another day. If I didn't study today, I could study tomorrow. If I didn't exercise today, I could exercise tomorrow. If I didn't finish an important task, I could always do it later. The word later was one of my favorite words. And that was the problem. I was always waiting for later. When I was 17, I started spending more and more time on my phone. Every morning, I would wake up and immediately reach for it. Before even getting out of bed, I would check my messages and social media. I'd tell myself, I'll just check for 5 minutes. But 5 minutes rarely stayed 5 minutes. I would scroll through videos, look at pictures, read comments, and watch other people's lives. Sometimes I didn't even enjoy what I was watching. I was simply scrolling because I didn't know what else to do. After an hour, I would finally put my phone down and think, wow, I just wasted an hour. But the next morning, I would do the same thing again. I didn't realize it at the time, but I was building a habit, and habits can be difficult to break away from. One day, something happened that made me think differently about time. I had an important university assignment. It wasn't especially difficult, but I had to finish it by Friday. On Monday, I thought, I have 4 days. There's plenty of time. So I didn't start. On Tuesday, I told myself, I'll start tomorrow. Wednesday came, still nothing. Then Thursday arrived. Suddenly, I became nervous. I opened my laptop and tried to finish everything in one night. I stayed awake until almost 3 in the morning. I was tired, stressed, and frustrated. The next morning, I handed in my assignment. I passed, but my work wasn't as good as it could have been. I knew I could have done better. That afternoon, I sat in a quiet cafe and thought about what had happened. I asked myself a simple question. Why do I keep waiting until the last minute? The answer wasn't that I didn't have enough time. The answer was that I was waiting for something to happen that I didn't have enough time. The answer was that I wasn't managing my time. That was the first time I understood something important. Time doesn't come back. If you lose money, you might be able to earn it again. If you lose something, you might be able to buy another one. But if you lose an hour, you can never get that hour back. That idea stayed in my mind. When I went home that evening, I decided to make a change. I didn't want to become a completely different person overnight. I just wanted to make small improvements. So I took a piece of paper and wrote down everything I usually did during the day. I wrote, wake up, check my phone, scroll through social media, have breakfast, watch videos, study, take breaks, talk to friends, watch more videos, sleep. When I looked at the list, I noticed something surprising. I was spending a huge amount of time doing things that weren't helping me move forward. I wasn't saying that entertainment was bad. I believe everyone needs time to relax. The problem was that I was relaxing before I had done the important things. So I decided to change the order. Instead of checking my phone first thing in the morning, I would get out of bed first. Instead of watching videos before studying, I would study first. Instead of waiting until the evening to exercise, I would move my body earlier in the day. And instead of trying to do everything at once, I would choose a few important tasks. The next morning, I tried my new routine. My alarm went off at 7. I reached for my phone. Then I stopped. I remembered my plan. No, I said to myself, get up first. So I got out of bed. It sounds like a small thing, but it felt surprisingly difficult. I opened the curtains, made my bed, washed my face, and drank a glass of water. Then I sat at my desk. For the next 30 minutes, I studied. There were no notifications, no social media, no videos. Just me and my books. At first, I felt uncomfortable. I wanted to check my phone, but I didn't. After 30 minutes, I looked at the clock. I had finished everything I planned to study. I felt proud of myself. It wasn't because I had studied for 5 hours, it was because I had actually followed through on my plan. That feeling encouraged me to continue. Over the next few weeks, I started changing more things. I began writing down my goals every morning. I didn't write 20 goals, I chose things. For example, study English for 30 minutes, exercise for 30 minutes, finish my university assignment. If I finished those 3 things, I considered the day successful. This simple method helped me focus on what really mattered. I also started using something called the 2-minute rule. If something could be done in 2 minutes, I tried to do it immediately. If I received an important email, I answered it. If my room was messy, I put something away. If I needed to send a message, I sent it. This prevented small tasks from building up and becoming stressful. Another important change was learning how to say no. Before that, I said yes to almost everything. A friend wanted to go out? Yes. Someone invited me somewhere? Yes. Someone wanted to talk for an hour when I had work to do? Yes. I didn't want to disappoint people. But eventually, I understood that saying yes to everything means saying no to some of your own goals. So I started saying, "Sorry, I can't today. Maybe another time. I have something important to finish first." At first, it felt strange, but I learned that protecting your time doesn't mean you don't care about other people. It means you understand that your time is valuable. I also changed the way I use my phone. I turned off unnecessary notifications. I moved social media apps away from my home screen. And I started setting a time limit for entertainment. I didn't delete everything. I didn't want to live without technology. I simply wanted to control it instead of allowing it to control me. That made a huge difference. I also started cutting down on things that wasted my time. For example, I stopped watching random videos when I was bored. Instead, I started listening to podcasts, reading books, or practicing English. Sometimes I even went for a walk without my phone. Those walks became some of my favorite moments of the day. I could think clearly. I could notice the world around me. And I didn't feel the need to fill every quiet moment with a screen. After a few months, my life started to feel different. I wasn't suddenly successful. I didn't become perfect, but I became more organized. I finished my assignments earlier. I had more time to exercise. I improved my English. I slept better. And most importantly, I felt less stressed. One of my friends noticed the change. She asked me, "Mia, what happened to you? You seem much more organized these days." I laughed. "I finally realized that I was wasting too much time." She smiled. "I think I have the same problem." Told her what I had learned. I told her that she didn't need to change everything at once. She just needed to start with one small habit. Maybe wake up 30 minutes earlier. Maybe spend less time on social media. Maybe make a simple list every morning. Maybe finish one important task before relaxing. Small changes can lead to big results. One of the biggest lessons I learned is that being busy doesn't mean being productive. You can be busy all day and still accomplish nothing important. You can answer hundreds of messages, watch dozens of videos, clean your room 3 times, and move from one task to another without making real progress. Being productive means spending your time on things that actually matter to you. For example, if your goal is to improve your English, spending 30 minutes listening and speaking is more useful than spending 2 hours watching random videos. If your goal is to become healthier, going for a 30-minute walk is more useful than watching exercise videos for 2 hours without actually exercising. You don't need more time. You need to use the time you already have. Another lesson I learned is that you don't have to wait for motivation. I used to say, "I'll study when I feel motivated," but motivation doesn't always come. Sometimes you have to show up even when you don't feel like doing something. There are mornings when I don't want to exercise. There are days when I don't want to study. There are evenings when I just want to lie on the sofa and watch television. And sometimes I do exactly that, because rest is important too. But I don't let one lazy day turn into a lazy week. That's the difference. I learned that balance is more important than perfection. You should work hard, but you should also rest. You should study, but you should also have fun. You should chase your goals, but you should also enjoy your life. The goal isn't to fill every minute of your day with work. The goal is to make sure your time goes toward the things that matter to you. Today, I'm 20 years old. I still make mistakes. I still waste time sometimes. Sometimes I spend too long on my phone. Sometimes I put things off. Sometimes I have a day when I don't accomplish much. But now I notice it. And when I notice it, I can get back on track. That's what matters. You don't have to be perfect. You just have to keep moving forward. If you're watching this and you feel like you're wasting too much of your time, don't feel bad. Don't spend another hour blaming yourself. Use the next 5 minutes to do something useful. Put your phone down, clean your desk, read one page, learn 5 English words, go for a short walk, write down your goals, send that important email, start that project you've been putting off. You don't have to change your entire life today. Just change what you do with the next few minutes, because your future is created by what you do with your time today. And remember this, you can always make more money. You can always buy new things. You can meet new people. But you can never get yesterday back. So don't waste your time waiting for the perfect moment. There may never be a perfect moment. Start where you are, use what you have, and take the next step. Your time is one of the most valuable things you own. Use it wisely. Thank you so much for listening to my story. I hope my experience made you think about how you spend your own time. Maybe today you can choose one small habit to change. And remember, you don't need to become a completely different person. Just become a little better than you were yesterday. If you found this story helpful, please support our channel by liking this video, subscribing to Listen and Speak Daily English, and turning on the notification bell so you don't miss our next English learning story. And if you know someone who is always saying, "I'll do it later," share this video with them. Thank you for learning with us. Keep listening, keep speaking, keep practicing, and most importantly, don't waste your time. Use it wisely. I'll see you in the next story.
Every story helps you learn a little more English, and every day brings you closer to fluency. If you liked this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share it with your friends who are also learning English.